Okay.
Ready?
All right. Yeah, I think
We're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right.
Yay! Hi, my name is Torres, and I'm the Public Programs Coordinator at Contemporary Arts Museum Houston. Welcome to another CAM Connects. I'm here with my good friend, Ben DeSoto. Ben is a legendary Houston photographer who has a rich history and body of work that documents years of the punk and hip-hop scene in Houston. He also documents current events and social justice issues. Ben's iconic photographs of DJ Screw are featured in the CAM exhibition Slowed and Throwed, Records of the City Through Mutated Lenses, which is a two-part interdisciplinary exhibition orbiting around DJ Screw. Yeah, Ben, thank you for meeting with me again today.
Cool.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about your unretirement?
Well, had a career, been taking pictures since I was in high school and grew up here in Houston. I was working on a poverty solutions documentary film called, working title was Quiet Storms of Reform. And I had some health issues in 2016. And so fortunately for me, it turned out to be a plateau and a pause and not a completion. And so I was able to step away from Houston. I never thought I would actually live someplace else. But I live in the mountaintops in Utah. And I have a dog, Poseidon. And I'm close to my teenage children, so I'm there and doing this, as my son observed. It says, so Dad, on the internet, you're Facebook famous. And I go, yeah, but here, you're just Dad. And I go, that's right, I'm just Dad. And up there, I'm not just that. So I was actually here at the occasion of the start of the CAM exhibit, and then we had this here pandemic, and with cancellations and extending about unretirement, and that allowed me to, I was so pleased to say, I was surprised, and I think I told you this before, I was just so happy that I was healthy enough to get pissed off all over again.
Yeah.
To hear the same failed solutions to dealing with people who are in an active state of stress and trauma on the streets was just, it pissed me off. And so so this period right at the beginning of the pandemic, I began to do some documentary work with the homeless communities that are growing. And I'm so pleased to learn as I began to kind of pick up some of my old work, just the incredible job that's happening here in Houston with the way home. Almost over half the homeless over the last decade have been housed, about 18,000 people. Mm-hmm. So there's this quiet story that I'm trying to hawk right now, but if nothing else, I'm pursuing it like more of a hobby now. But I bet that, again, I have some young people who are kind of coming in and picking up pieces of the imagery and work like that. So we're blessed.
Yeah. So though you're calling it an unretirement, because in Utah you're retired, as you say, and you have, we've been blessed to have you in Houston twice during the pandemic, and it's given you the opportunity to not only be here and documenting the protests, but going back in and documenting Houston, like the homelessness in Houston. So can you tell us a little bit about like the work you have been doing and how it's culminating in your unretirement right now? I know you just spoke a little bit about it, but I know it's a big part of your work.
Well, I think I shared with you before that a lot of my documentary work is in respect as I was a newspaper photographer for 25 years at the Chronicle, and I had worked years in front and behind that. But at the core of it was a kind of my studies of Christianity, and then that was able to move easily within Buddhist practice. I did that most of my life. Did 12-step as well, and then this time I was in Utah, I got to hang out with Native American and learn Native American spirituality and add that to my practice set and see things in a newer perspective. And so, I spent a lot more time. It's really quite the thing to be able to kind of build your spiritual practice around build your day around your spiritual practice as opposed to kind of putting your meditations and self-care, other ends of a schedule, So it allowed me to kind of really meditate about, well, as my health recovered, what's the best way I can use my energy? To that end, I'm real pleased that I have completed something. Again, a lot of things I had to kind of put away in 2016. But one of them is the Visual STEAM Camp. So the coming year, Harris County Department of Education, Department of Education Department, I'm not sure which one. I'm going to be able to have a visual STEAM camp at the Gregory School. And it's a science and fine art summer camp.
That's awesome.
I know.
And the Gregory School also is one of the institutions that is currently archiving your work.
Oh yes, I have a whole bunch of boxes over there with my stuff. I'm the best kind of pack rat, they tell me. You know, I'm just very eclectic, you know. And apparently I never slept in my youth because it seemed like I was taking pictures all the time. There's, I can share this video with you. I went to the library. There's like 48 monitor boxes, and I did my first time lapse. And it's really, watching me working like that. And
is that what you did on this visit when you went to visit your archive?
Yeah, the pandemic kind of prevented that. Well, the trips were first short. Again, everything kind of began to become energized with the documentary release.
The documentary release for Art's Sake.
Yes, back in November.
And who's that by again?
That way we have
Witness.
Andrew. Yeah, Witness and Andrew Benavides, and Witness Zapata. Michael Zapata is his government name, as he would say.
Yes. I mean, one of my favorite parts of the documentary for Art's Sake is how Witness says, if it wasn't for you and the images that you took of DJ Screw, which happened to be the only professional photo shoot he did, is that correct?
Yeah.
If
Only
it hadn't,
pictures, yeah.
If it hadn't happened, no one would have known what the inside of his studio looked like, or the inside of his home.
And so that was such a huge blessing for them to kind of share that with the world, kind of my last days here. It's so very mystical. And that was very energizing. And after screening it for 5 times, I think they did a very good job of capturing my impersonation of Bodhisattva, never disparaging, always being encouraging, always seeing and being optimistic about the possibility of the fact that life itself is so important. You know that?
Yeah. So one of the things I find so fascinating is, again, this idea of your unretirement, because I met you over a decade ago, and I learned so much from you being both your model and assisting you when you were teaching. And these images that are currently at the CAM were taken in the 90s, right? And so both with the documentary for Art's Sake, as well as with, the show we currently have at the CAM, these just iconic images have come through. And it's just like these countless things that keep bringing you back to Houston in unretirement. So can you speak to some of your archives dealing with, related to hip hop, related to DJ Screw?
Okay. Well, that opportunity to photograph DJ Screw in many respects, such is the nature of a passion, where you find inspiration and joy to you. I know that fire and dance, and you're actually an inspirational multimedia artist, and so the possibility, what we were talking about, I don't care, but the idea is just like being excited about life and just excited about one of the things to be a teacher of kind of how to teach like a pirate, how to teach from love and logic, grit, the power of passion, perseverance. And it gave me an understanding of a lot of things I did intuitively. The Native American gave me a better understanding of a lot of things I did intuitively to interact and connect with people. And to find this validation, this quality to be able to kind of jumpstart the next generation so they're a little bit further ahead in their studies. On intuition, of mindfulness, of kind of playing around some ideas. And again, I suffered wonderfully with these vision dreams. When the first time I was in the Navajo with Miss Emma, and I had these incredible visions that, as she would describe them, the Navajo say America again. And so I've been comfortable with having these kind of wonderful little flashes of wouldn't that be great? Possibilities, and dealing with architectural design for the pandemic, post-pandemic world. What can we do? And addressing to the question, what can we do to take care of our most vulnerable family members? Now I'm dealing with the homeless, our homeless veterans, the homeless families in stress, our elderly, our children. What can we do to begin sculpting new for the next 7 generations, recognizing that we're dealing with 7 generational old problems of affordable housing, medical care, and criminal justice. And then in criminal justice, we get work and we get education. Moving forward, what are we doing to build in anticipation instead of profiting on the next generation?
Yeah.
We need to change. We need to change what we're doing.
Yeah.
And and you're part of that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.